Good evening, Tanya Villar, the Southern Muse. And yes, yesterday was an integration day for me. We're doing the Course in Miracles, and yesterday was day 9, but I didn't do the post. So, what happens when you are doing a practice and then you find that you skip a day? I want you to love yourself and just pick up the practice on the day that you hear. Like, if you hadn't done it in a while, and, just begin today. Like, the message for you will be what you hear today. Because as we're learning, and what was so important for me to integrate is really nothing I've ever thought means anything. So, a friend of mine yesterday was playing with this concept spiritually. And so we gave ourselves this challenge. And the challenge was, can we have a conversation and not speak about the past? Like, can we do that? Or speak about a projection in the future that we're concerned about? Like, can we have a conversation that involves something that has variety in it, that is fun, that is interesting? Hey, Angelita, that isn't about the past. Can you have that conversation? What we discovered is that initially, as we were doing this, there was silence. There, because we were both self editing. No, if I say that, then that's a thought of the past, and it's not relevant to right now. And what I began to experience is I'm thinking, oh my God, it's like I am releasing this labyrinth in my brain. And I actually felt as if I was connecting to the field of all possibilities. And I've read about this field through artists like Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo, many, many, many scientists and inventors talk about this place in spiritual people where you receive information and there aren't thoughts that I have thought before, and they're definitely not thoughts of the past. Now, what could you talk about? Right? What could you talk about? Well, you can talk about how to create something wonderful. You can talk about how to cook something. You can talk about how to go enjoy an experience together. There's lots of things that we can do that keep us in alignment with the now moment. I was also asked by someone to describe, well, what is a moment? My definition of a moment is when I say it's time to give yourself a 60-second, like give 60 seconds to every moment, is that there's different types of moments. So the moment I was referring to in that video is if you feel yourself being upset, then within that moment, which is a collection of seconds and minutes, that moment can go on for 60 minutes, which is an hour. That's suffering. So when you feel yourself in a moment of suffering, then give that moment 60 seconds of silence. Learn how to infuse a different energy for 60 seconds within that moment. So I would say a moment is described emotionally more than it is described in an exact time frame. When we're talking about aligning to, or let's say getting out of, which then just connects you to the truth that you are a soul having a physical experience. Okay? You want to get past. And so I want to read a little bit from Pam Grout. Like I said, I do recommend. She has a very fun way of presenting the Course in Miracles. And when we're talking about the lesson 9 and lesson 10, lesson 9 is this. All right? I see nothing as it is now. So when you say that, like you're actually looking around the room, you can say, look, the computer I'm looking at, I'm not seeing it how it really is now. The phone is not really how it is. And you know through science that if I look at this phone underneath a microscope, because my eyes can only see just so small, but a microscope can see even deeper into this. What you actually see is that this phone is moving atomically. So the spiritual concept actually has scientific backing. So I want you to get nothing that you see is really how it really is. Right? So get that. Get that. Because all of these thoughts lead us. This idea will help me to release me from all that I believe now. And why do you want to be released from what you believe now? Because what you believe now is that you deserve suffering if you're suffering. What you believe now is you deserve to struggle if that's what you are suffering with. So anything that you believe like that, like, isn't it great to not believe that anymore? And if you didn't believe that, what would you be thinking? You know, that's a great question. That coaches, if you're a coach, if you want to coach yourself, this lesson really leads to this question. Like, bring your problem up. Is it depression? Is it anxiety? Is it nobody listens to you? Do you feel that you're impoverished? Do you feel like you can't ever get ahead? Name the thing, the event that causes you pain right now. Bring it to your mind. Now ask yourself this question. If I was not believing that I needed to suffer, if I was not believing that I needed to be sad, what would I be doing? Like, literally, what would you be doing? Now, you may not get the answer immediately because this is a new thought. This is a new thing to think. It's a new question to ask yourself. Now, not why is all this bad stuff happening to me? Or why do I seem to always be in the middle of this chaos and this drama? But it's more like, if I didn't have the drama, didn't have this chaos, didn't have this problem, what would I be doing? Now let that simmer, that question simmer. And as you do that, and you're doing this Course in Miracles, you are creating a new neural pathway by being consistent, either by listening to me, listening to Marianne Williamson, or, like I said, Pam Grout, as they have experienced a year of doing this wonderful practice. So lesson 10 is, again, my thoughts don't mean anything. Like, for the past 10 days, we're going over the fact and getting it really to get to your consciousness and into your experience that your thoughts don't mean anything. And what you see, you're not seeing everything that can be seen. So when you make that much room, then whatever you're suffering in, then you see that's also the doorway in which your Holy Spirit can create a miracle. And that's how you become a co-creator, a witness to miracles, by allowing yourself that much room for your Holy Spirit to move on your behalf, because it's hungry to do it. It's been waiting to do it. It's like begging you to give it permission. So congratulations for staying with this through lesson 10, right? You're doing a great job. So I want to read this because I really love the way Pam talks about this. And so this talks about how releasing a belief system, quieting the mind, listening to new thoughts, allowing thoughts you never thought to think to begin to come from the inside out. Like you can feel it coming through your heart, and they're loving and compassionate and beautiful, right? That's how you'll know that it's coming from your soul and not your fear, right? So once, when interviewing a visiting Indian guru, Larry King pointed to his turban head and asked, "How does it get so quiet in there?" The Swami answered, "It is quiet in there because that's its natural state. Everything else, the insistent mental verbalizing, is a crutch we non-Swami types use to buffer the world. The never-ending chatter narrates the world, slicing and dicing it to fit our own personal story. Its purpose is to keep us distracted and disoriented. Most of us are too close to the roommate in our head to be objective, to fully realize its overriding power over us. So as lesson 10 in A Course in Miracles is, my thoughts do not mean anything. You get it? After years of siding with the thoughts in our head, because think about it, it's the thoughts in your head that usually talk you into doing something not in your best interest, or talk you out of doing something in your best interest. And it's also that same voice or group of voices in your head that then criticize you for doing the thing or not doing the thing. So you got to understand, it has no intelligence, and it has really zero power. And when you realize that, then you're allowing yourself to connect to your true power. Okay? So, most of us are too close to the roommate in our head to be objective, to fully realize its overriding power over us. So, after years of siding with the thoughts in our head, it can be confrontational at first to hear that our precious thoughts mean nothing. To learn their useless mental commotion devised to filter reality, and I add, dilute your power. It doesn't even matter if the thoughts tell us nice things. Doesn't matter if they sprout spiritual wisdom or tell us we should proceed immediately to the nearest bed and pull the covers up over our head. Either way, that voice is not us. Just for kicks, stop for a second and make the voice in your head say this: John Jacob Jingle Smiker Smith. Made it say it? Now make it say it like this: John Jacob Jingleheimer Smith. See? That voice is at your command. And it's busy night and day. We mistakenly believe this ongoing sideline color commentary keeps us safe. But as we learned in the course, this nonstop vocalizing keeps us trapped. It keeps us from knowing who we really, really, really are. So today, this moment, and for moments to come, take it from Larry King Swami and start to observe this roommate in your head. Realize that this chatty voice, negative or positive, is not you. And no true freedom comes from the moment you allow yourself to transcend it. How exciting is that? So, congratulations, day 10 of the Course in Miracles. Tomorrow night is the second Monday of the month, and it's the beginning of the book that we're reading, which is Divine Compensation by Marianne Williamson. And if you want to join that book club, you need to join my Patreon account. And if you want to be into the Zoom room, that we're going to talk more about our experiences in the Course in Miracles, then you want to also click that. And that's next Monday. So much love, everyone. Go forth tonight and realize that nothing you think about the Course in Miracles means anything. That you, who you really, really, really are, is eternal love in perpetual, beautiful motion. Mwah.